Welcome, friends, I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're drifting towards sleep, unwinding after a long day, or simply looking for a quiet companion, you've found the right place. Before we begin, I'd love to know where in the world are you listening from. Perhaps you're wrapped in a blanket, sitting by a softly lit window, or resting somewhere under an open sky. Wherever you are, I hope you're warm, comfortable, and ready to wander with me into one of the most profound questions that modern astronomy has ever encountered: the possibility that 3 Atlas, this mysterious visitor from interstellar space, might represent something far more extraordinary than a natural cosmic wanderer. If you find peace or curiosity in these gentle stories, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, or sharing it with someone who might need a moment of stillness too. And to those who've already joined along, thank you. The question that changes everything emerges when scientists detect unusual characteristics in 3I Atlas that challenge conventional explanations and force astronomers to consider whether this interstellar visitor might represent technology from an alien civilization, rather than a natural object formed through conventional astrophysical processes. This possibility, however remote, transforms routine astronomical observation into profound philosophical investigation that touches the deepest questions about humanity's place in the cosmos and our potential membership in a community of intelligent civilizations that may span the galaxy through technological achievements we can barely imagine. Scientific objectivity requirements demand that researchers approach extraordinary claims with systematic skepticism while maintaining intellectual honesty about observational constraints and theoretical limitations that affect interpretation of unusual phenomena. The scientific method provides established frameworks for evaluating anomalous observations through systematic hypothesis testing, controlled comparison with known phenomena, and rigorous statistical analysis that distinguishes between genuine anomalies and observational artifacts or theoretical misunderstanding. Anomaly identification protocols establish systematic criteria for recognizing when observed. Characteristics exceed the range of natural variation expected from conventional astrophysical objects, where statistical analysis of known populations provides baseline expectations that enable identification of truly unusual phenomena that require explanation through exotic formation mechanisms or alternative interpretation frameworks. These protocols provide objective standards for distinguishing between normal natural variation and genuinely anomalous characteristics that challenge conventional understanding. Only took initial 3I Atlas observations approximately weeks to reveal characteristics that didn't conform to standard expectations for natural interstellar objects, including unusual brightness variations, anomalous compositional signatures, and trajectory characteristics that prompted systematic investigation of whether these features could result from artificial construction or technological processes. Only required careful comparative analysis with known natural objects to establish that certain 3I Atlas characteristics fall outside normal ranges for conventional astronomical bodies. Only needed systematic evaluation of formation hypotheses to demonstrate that some observed features resist explanation through conventional astrophysical processes. Technological signature identification involves systematic search for observational evidence that could indicate artificial construction, deliberate design, or technological processes that operate according to engineering principles rather than natural formation mechanisms. These technological signatures might include geometric regularity, manufactured material compositions, controlled propulsion systems, electromagnetic emissions, or structural characteristics that exhibit engineering optimization rather than natural evolutionary processes. The mystery of artificial versus natural origin involves fundamental questions about how to distinguish between objects that formed through natural astrophysical processes and those that might represent technological artifacts created by intelligent civilizations. Current scientific understanding provides limited frameworks for making such distinctions, while highlighting the profound implications of confirming artificial origin for any astronomical object, which would revolutionize understanding of galactic civilizations and humanity's cosmic context. Observational bias considerations account for human psychological tendencies to perceive patterns, assign agency, and seek extraordinary explanations for unusual phenomena, creating systematic biases that must be carefully controlled when evaluating potential technological signatures or artificial origin claims. These cognitive biases can lead to overinterpretation of natural phenomena while requiring rigorous statistical analysis and peer review to maintain scientific objectivity. Alternative explanation evaluation requires systematic consideration of all possible natural formation mechanisms that could produce observed three-eye atlas characteristics before concluding that artificial origin represents the most plausible explanation. This evaluation process involves comprehensive analysis of exotic astrophysical processes, unusual formation environments, and rare natural phenomena that might create observational signatures resembling technological artifacts. Statistical significance assessment employs rigorous mathematical analysis to determine whether observed anomalies exceed natural variation by margins sufficient to warrant consideration of exotic explanations, including potential artificial origin. These statistical frameworks provide objective criteria for evaluating anomaly significance, while accounting for multiple hypothesis testing and selection effects that could create apparent anomalies through random variation. Peer review requirements ensure that claims about potential alien artifacts undergo systematic evaluation by independent researchers who can verify observational data, validate analysis methods, and assess theoretical interpretations through established scientific review processes. These peer review mechanisms provide quality control frameworks that prevent premature or unfounded claims while maintaining scientific credibility and public trust. International coordination protocols establish systematic frameworks for sharing observational data, coordinating analysis efforts, and managing public communication about potential alien artifact discoveries through established scientific institutions and governmental agencies responsible for space research and national security considerations. These coordination mechanisms ensure appropriate scientific and policy responses to extraordinary discoveries. Technological capability constraints from current human engineering provide systematic frameworks for evaluating whether observed 3-atlas characteristics exceed technological capabilities achievable through known physical principles and engineering approaches, potentially indicating technological sophistication that surpasses human achievement. These capability assessments provide context for evaluating the technological implications of potential artificial characteristics. Philosophical implications of confirming alien technology would fundamentally transform human understanding of cosmic civilization, galactic intelligence, and humanity's position within potentially vast communities of technological species that may communicate and interact across interstellar distances through technological means currently beyond human capability. Communication protocol development addresses systematic approaches for attempting contact with potential alien artifacts, while establishing appropriate procedures for managing discovery announcements, international cooperation, and public communication about confirmed alien technology detection. These protocols balance scientific investigation with broader social and political implications of alien contact. Evidence threshold establishment requires systematic definition of observational and analytical standards necessary for confirming artificial origin claims, while maintaining scientific rigor and preventing false positive identifications that could damage scientific credibility or create inappropriate public responses to natural phenomena misinterpreted as alien technology. Historical precedent analysis examines previous claims about potential alien artifacts and technological signatures to understand systematic biases, analytical limitations, and verification procedures that affect artificial origin evaluation, while providing lessons for improving current investigation methods and avoiding previous analytical mistakes. Multidisciplinary integration combines astronomical observation with materials science, engineering analysis, information theory, and anthropological perspectives to provide comprehensive evaluation frameworks for potential alien artifacts that account for technological, cultural, and physical characteristics that might distinguish artificial from natural phenomena. Modern SETI integration connects 3I Atlas investigation with broader search for extraterrestrial intelligence programs that provide established methodologies, technological capabilities, and theoretical frameworks for systematic investigation of potential alien technology while maintaining scientific objectivity and appropriate skepticism. Tonight, every unusual astronomical observation that challenges conventional understanding, every systematic investigation that maintains scientific rigor while exploring extraordinary possibilities, every careful analysis that balances skepticism with intellectual honesty carries forward the legacy of 3I Atlas and the profound responsibility of scientific investigation that must remain open to revolutionary discoveries, while maintaining the methodological rigor that ensures reliable knowledge about cosmic phenomena and humanity's place within the vast community of cosmic intelligence that may inhabit our galaxy. The scientific method meets science fiction at the intersection where extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence, leading researchers to develop systematic protocols for distinguishing between natural phenomena and potential technological signatures through rigorous analytical frameworks that maintain scientific objectivity while remaining intellectually honest about the profound implications of discovering genuine alien artifacts. This methodological challenge represents one of the most significant tests of scientific rigor in contemporary astronomy, where the extraordinary nature of potential alien technology claims requires even more careful analysis and higher evidentiary standards than conventional astronomical discoveries. Hypothesis testing frameworks establish systematic approaches for evaluating alien artifact claims through controlled comparison between observed characteristics and predicted signatures of both natural formation processes and potential technological construction. These frameworks require explicit specification of testable predictions that distinguish between natural and artificial origin hypotheses, while providing statistical criteria for evaluating which explanation best accounts for observational data without invoking unnecessary exotic assumptions. Burden of proof considerations establish that extraordinary claims about alien technology require extraordinary evidence that meets higher standards of verification and reproducibility than claims about conventional natural phenomena, where the profound implications of confirming alien visitation demand multiple independent verification and comprehensive analysis that eliminates all plausible natural explanations before accepting artificial origin conclusions. Only took scientific evaluation approximately months to establish systematic protocols for 3I Atlas artificial origin assessment through development of explicit criteria for technological signatures, natural alternative evaluation, and statistical analysis frameworks that provide objective standards for extraordinary claim evaluation, only required careful consideration of previous false positive cases to develop analytical standards that prevent premature conclusions while maintaining openness to genuine discoveries. Only needed systematic methodology development to create frameworks that balance appropriate skepticism with intellectual honesty about revolutionary discovery possibilities. Control group analysis employs systematic comparison between 3I atlas characteristics and well-understood natural objects that provide baseline expectations for normal interstellar object properties, enabling identification of genuinely anomalous features that require explanation through either exotic natural processes or potential artificial construction. These control comparisons provide essential context for evaluating whether observed anomalies represent natural variation or characteristics that exceed natural formation capabilities. The mystery of verification standards involves determining what level and type of evidence would constitute definitive proof of alien technology, while acknowledging that such evidence might exhibit characteristics unlike any terrestrial technology, and therefore require new analytical frameworks that don't rely exclusively on human technological experience for artifact identification criteria. Reproducibility requirements demand that potential technological signatures remain detectable through independent observations using different instruments and analysis methods, ensuring that claimed anomalies represent genuine physical characteristics rather than observational artifacts, instrumental errors, or analysis biases that could create false technological signatures through systematic measurement or interpretation mistakes. Null hypothesis testing requires systematic evaluation of whether observed 3I atlas characteristics can be explained through conventional natural processes before considering exotic explanations, including potential artificial origin. This testing framework provides statistical criteria for rejecting natural formation hypotheses only when observational evidence significantly exceeds natural variation ranges with appropriate confidence levels. Peer review intensification for extraordinary claims involves expanded review processes that include experts from multiple disciplines including astronomy, materials science, engineering, and statistical analysis to provide comprehensive evaluation of methodology, data quality, and theoretical interpretation while preventing analytical errors or biases that might affect artificial origin assessment. False positive prevention requires systematic identification and elimination of potential sources of artificial signature mimicry through natural processes, observational artifacts, or analysis errors that could create apparent technological characteristics without genuine artificial construction. These prevention protocols provide quality control mechanisms that protect scientific credibility while ensuring appropriate skepticism. Occam's razor applications require systematic preference for simpler natural explanations over complex artificial origin hypotheses when both alternatives remain consistent with observational constraints, ensuring that exotic explanations receive consideration only when conventional alternatives prove insufficient to account for observed characteristics through reasonable natural processes. Statistical significance enhancement requires more rigorous confidence intervals and lower probability thresholds for accepting artificial origin claims compared to conventional astronomical discoveries. Acknowledging that extraordinary claims require proportionally extraordinary statistical support that exceeds normal scientific publication standards for hypothesis acceptance. Multimodal evidence integration demands convergent support from multiple independent lines of evidence, including spectroscopic analysis, structural characteristics, trajectory anomalies, and potential communication signatures that collectively support artificial origin conclusions rather than relying on single anomalous measurements that might result from natural variation or observational uncertainty. Independent verification protocols establish requirements for multiple research groups using different observational techniques and analysis methods to confirm potential technological signatures while preventing systematic biases or analytical errors that might affect individual research programs. These verification requirements ensure scientific consensus, building through independent validation rather than single-source claims. Technological signature databases develop systematic catalogues of predicted artificial characteristics based on engineering principles, materials science, and theoretical technological capabilities that provide comparison standards for evaluating whether observed 3I atlas features match expectations for manufactured objects versus natural formation products. Historical precedent evaluation examines previous claims about potential alien artifacts, including natural objects initially misidentified as artificial constructions, helping develop improved analytical standards that prevent repetition of previous analytical mistakes while maintaining appropriate openness to genuine technological discoveries that might exhibit unexpected characteristics. Interdisciplinary consultation requirements mandate input from engineering experts, materials scientists, information theorists, and technology specialists who can evaluate whether observed characteristics exceed natural formation capabilities while remaining consistent with potential technological construction through advanced but physically plausible engineering approaches. Communication transparency protocols ensure systematic public disclosure of methodology, data, and analysis procedures used in artificial origin evaluation, while maintaining scientific accuracy and preventing premature or misleading claims that could damage public understanding of scientific investigation processes or create inappropriate expectations about alien contact. International coordination frameworks establish systematic approaches for managing potential alien artifact discoveries through cooperation between scientific institutions, governmental agencies, and international organizations responsible for space research and contact protocols, while ensuring appropriate scientific investigation procedures and public communication standards. Theoretical framework development requires systematic consideration of how confirmed alien technology discovery would affect theoretical understanding of galactic civilizations, technological development, and interstellar communication, while preparing analytical frameworks that could accommodate revolutionary discoveries about cosmic intelligence and technological capabilities. Modern scientific standards continue evolving to address extraordinary claim evaluation through improved statistical methods, enhanced peer review processes, and systematic protocols that maintain scientific rigor while remaining intellectually honest about discovery possibilities that could revolutionize understanding of cosmic civilization and humanity's galactic context. Tonight, every rigorous scientific investigation that maintains appropriate skepticism while exploring revolutionary possibilities, every systematic methodology that distinguishes between extraordinary evidence and extraordinary claims, every careful analysis that balances intellectual honesty with methodological rigor, carries forward the legacy of scientific inquiry that must remain both cautious and curious when confronting phenomena that could transform human understanding of cosmic intelligence and our place within potentially vast communities of technological civilizations. Anomalous behavior under scientific scrutiny reveals that 3I Atlas exhibits brightness variations, trajectory characteristics, and compositional signatures that don't clearly match typical natural objects. prompting systematic analysis to determine whether these observational peculiarities result from exotic natural formation processes or potentially indicate artificial construction through technological processes that operate according to engineering principles rather than conventional astrophysical mechanisms. These anomalies create scientific puzzles that require careful investigation to distinguish between unusual but natural phenomena and characteristics that might genuinely exceed the capabilities of known natural formation processes. Brightness anomaly analysis reveals that 3I Atlas exhibits irregular photometric variations that don't conform to expected rotation patterns for natural asteroids or typical outgassing behavior for comets, creating systematic deviations from normal brightness patterns that challenge conventional interpretation methods. These brightness irregularities could result from complex natural geometry, unusual surface composition, or potentially indicate artificial structural characteristics that create controlled light reflection patterns unlike natural object behavior. Trajectory characteristics demonstrate that while 3I Atlas follows a clearly hyperbolic path proving interstellar origin, its specific velocity and approach direction create statistical anomalies when compared with expected distributions for natural interstellar objects ejected through conventional planetary system dynamics. These trajectory peculiarities could reflect unusual formation circumstances or potentially indicate course corrections or navigational control that exceed natural gravitational perturbation effects. Only took systematic anomaly analysis approximately months to establish that 3I Atlas exhibits multiple observational characteristics that fall outside normal ranges for known natural object populations, while remaining within theoretical bounds for advanced technological construction. Only required statistical comparison with natural object databases to demonstrate that certain observed features represent significant deviations from natural baselines requiring explanation through either exotic natural processes or artificial construction. Only needed systematic evaluation to establish that multiple independent anomalies create cumulative evidence patterns that challenge purely natural origin explanations. Compositional signature analysis through spectroscopic observation reveals chemical characteristics that don't clearly match standard meteorite classifications or typical cometary compositions, suggesting either formation under unusual stellar conditions or potential artificial material processing that creates surface chemistry, unlike natural solar system or interstellar object materials. These compositional anomalies require careful analysis to distinguish between exotic natural materials and potentially manufactured substances. The mystery of correlated anomalies involves understanding whether multiple unusual characteristics observed in 3I Atlas represent independent natural variations that coincidentally occur together, or whether they reflect systematic relationships that might indicate common artificial origin through technological construction processes that create integrated design characteristics, unlike random natural formation results. Rotation dynamics exhibit complexity that exceeds simple natural rotation patterns, with brightness variations suggesting either highly irregular shape characteristics or potentially controlled orientation changes that maintain specific attitudes relative to solar illumination or Earth observation geometry. These rotation anomalies could indicate natural tumbling motion, or potentially suggest attitude control systems that maintain deliberate orientational relationships. Surface reflectivity patterns demonstrate systematic variations that create brightness changes consistent with either complex natural surface composition or potentially engineered surface properties that control light reflection according to geometric relationships rather than random natural surface variation. These reflectivity characteristics require careful analysis to distinguish between natural surface heterogeneity and potentially artificial surface engineering. Thermal signature analysis attempts to identify artificial heat sources or controlled thermal emission patterns that might indicate internal power systems or thermal management technology operating independently of solar heating effects. Natural objects exhibit predictable thermal behavior based on solar distance and surface properties, while artificial objects might demonstrate thermal characteristics that reflect internal energy sources or thermal control systems. Structural integrity analysis evaluates whether 3i Atlas demonstrates mechanical stability and structural coherence that exceeds natural gravitational binding for objects of inferred size and composition, potentially indicating artificial structural reinforcement or materials engineering that enables structural integrity beyond natural limits for loose aggregations of natural materials. Electromagnetic signature monitoring searches for artificial radio emissions, controlled electromagnetic fields, or systematic electromagnetic behavior that might indicate active electronic systems or communication capabilities operating independently of natural electromagnetic phenomena. These electromagnetic analyses provide direct tests for artificial technology through detection of controlled electromagnetic behavior characteristic of technological systems. Geometric analysis investigates whether 3i Atlas shape characteristics exhibit geometric regularity, mathematical relationships, or design optimization that exceeds natural formation capabilities, while suggesting engineering design principles that create systematic geometric properties, unlike random natural assembly processes. Acceleration anomaly detection employs precise astrometric measurement to identify potential non-gravitational acceleration that might indicate propulsion systems or course correction capabilities beyond natural effects including outgassing, radiation pressure, or gravitational perturbations. These acceleration studies provide direct tests for artificial propulsion through detection of controlled motion that exceeds natural force mechanisms. Materials engineering evaluation attempts to determine whether inferred surface properties and structural characteristics exceed natural material capabilities, while suggesting engineered materials or manufacturing processes that create performance characteristics unavailable through natural formation under known astrophysical conditions. Pattern recognition analysis employs systematic statistical techniques to identify regular patterns, mathematical relationships, or design characteristics in observational data that might indicate deliberate construction or technological optimization, rather than random natural variation that creates irregular patterns without systematic organization or mathematical relationships. Information content analysis evaluates whether 3 Atlas characteristics contain systematic information patterns, mathematical relationships, or organizational structures that exceed natural complexity, while potentially indicating deliberate information encoding or technological design that creates systematic information content unlike natural random processes. Control system signatures investigation searches for evidence of systematic behavioral control, responsive characteristics, or adaptive behavior that might indicate active control systems monitoring environmental conditions and adjusting object behavior according to programmed responses, or intelligent control algorithms operating independently of passive natural response to environmental forces. Comparative technology assessment evaluates whether observed 3i Atlas characteristics remain consistent with advanced but physically plausible technological capabilities, while considering theoretical limits of materials science, propulsion systems, and engineering design that could produce observed characteristics through artificial construction rather than natural formation processes. Modern analytical techniques enable systematic investigation of potential artificial characteristics through sophisticated statistical analysis, comparative studies, and theoretical modeling that provide objective frameworks for evaluating anomalous behavior while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate skepticism about extraordinary claims requiring extraordinary evidence. Tonight, every careful measurement that reveals unusual characteristics, every systematic analysis that distinguishes between natural variation and genuine anomalies, every scientific investigation that maintains rigorous standards while exploring extraordinary possibilities carries forward the quest to understand whether 3 Atlas represents natural cosmic wanderer or potentially revolutionary evidence of technological intelligence operating across interstellar distances through engineering capabilities that exceed current human achievement. The biosignature versus technosignature debate emerges as scientists examine whether 3I Atlas shows signs of deliberate design, controlled propulsion, or manufactured materials that would indicate technological rather than biological or geological origins, creating systematic frameworks for distinguishing between signatures of living processes and evidence of intelligent technological construction. This analytical challenge requires development of new methodological approaches that can differentiate between the complex patterns created by biological evolution, the systematic characteristics produced by technological engineering, and the random variations typical of purely geological or astrophysical formation processes. Technological signature identification focuses on systematic search for evidence of deliberate construction, engineering optimization, or controlled behavior that exceeds the organizational capabilities of natural formation processes while demonstrating the systematic design principles characteristic of intelligent technological construction. These technosignatures might include geometric regularity, materials engineering, controlled propulsion, systematic electromagnetic emissions, or structural characteristics that exhibit optimization for specific functions rather than random natural assembly. Biological signature analysis considers whether 3I Atlas might exhibit characteristics indicative of biological processes, including organic chemical compositions, systematic growth patterns, adaptive responses to environmental changes, or metabolic activity that could indicate living systems rather than purely technological construction. Biological signatures would represent equally extraordinary discoveries while requiring different analytical approaches than technological artifact identification. Only took systematic signature analysis approximately months to establish that 3I Atlas lacks obvious biological characteristics, while exhibiting potential technological signatures that require careful evaluation to determine whether they exceed natural formation capabilities or represent genuine evidence of artificial construction through deliberate engineering processes. Only required comparative analysis with known biological and technological systems to develop classification criteria that distinguish between natural, biological, and technological origins. Only needed systematic evaluation to establish analytical frameworks for identifying genuine artificial signatures versus natural phenomena that mimic technological characteristics. Design principle analysis investigates whether 3I Atlas structural characteristics, surface properties, or behavioral patterns exhibit systematic optimization for specific functions that would indicate deliberate engineering design rather than random natural formation or biological adaptation processes. Engineering optimization creates systematic relationships between form and function that differ from both biological adaptation and random natural assembly through mathematical design principles. The mystery of intelligence indicators involves determining what observational signatures would provide convincing evidence of deliberate intelligent construction, while distinguishing between sophisticated natural processes that can create complex patterns and genuine technological artifacts that require intelligent design and systematic construction according to engineering principles that exceed natural formation capabilities. Materials engineering evaluation attempts to identify whether 3I atlas surface composition or structural properties exhibit characteristics consistent with manufactured materials, artificial alloys, or engineered substances that cannot form through natural astrophysical processes under any known stellar or planetary formation conditions. Artificial materials would exhibit systematic compositions and properties optimized for specific functions rather than natural chemical equilibria. Control system detection searches for evidence of active monitoring, responsive behavior, or systematic adaptation that might indicate technological control systems operating according to programmed algorithms or intelligent direction, rather than passive response to environmental forces through natural physical processes. Control systems create systematic behavioral patterns that demonstrate purposeful response to environmental conditions. Information processing signatures investigate whether 3I atlas demonstrates systematic information storage, transmission, or processing capabilities that might indicate technological systems designed for communication, data collection, or computational functions that exceed natural information processing through purely physical or chemical processes. Technological information processing creates systematic patterns that reflect deliberate information manipulation. Propulsion system analysis examines trajectory characteristics, acceleration patterns, and motion anomalies to determine whether 3I atlas exhibits controlled propulsion capabilities that exceed natural force mechanisms including outgassing, radiation pressure, and gravitational perturbations, while demonstrating systematic thrust generation consistent with artificial propulsion technology. Manufacturing signature detection attempts to identify surface features, structural characteristics, or material properties that exhibit evidence of systematic manufacturing processes, including tooling marks, assembly joints, material processing, or construction techniques that indicate artificial fabrication rather than natural formation through astrophysical or geological processes. Energy system indicators search for evidence of systematic energy generation, storage, or utilization that might indicate artificial power systems operating independently of solar heating or natural radioactive decay, while demonstrating controlled energy management consistent with technological rather than natural energy processes. Communication capability assessment evaluates whether 3I atlas exhibits systematic electromagnetic emissions, signal modulation, or communication protocols that might indicate deliberate information transmission or reception capabilities designed for interstellar communication rather than natural electromagnetic phenomena resulting from physical processes. Adaptive behavior monitoring investigates whether 3I atlas demonstrates systematic responses to environmental changes, observational attention, or external stimuli that might indicate intelligent awareness and responsive behavior, rather than passive natural response to environmental forces through purely physical mechanisms. Geometric precision analysis examines whether 3I atlas structural characteristics exhibit mathematical precision, systematic proportions, or geometric relationships that exceed natural formation tolerances, while demonstrating engineering precision characteristic of technological construction, rather than natural assembly processes. Functional integration evaluation assesses whether multiple 3I atlas characteristics demonstrate systematic integration and coordination that serve specific purposes or functions, rather than independent natural features that occur together through coincidental natural processes without systematic functional relationships. Multi-system coordination analysis investigates whether different aspects of 3i Atlas behavior, structure, and characteristics demonstrate systematic coordination that might indicate integrated technological systems working together according to designed relationships rather than independent natural processes operating without systematic coordination. Optimization criteria assessment examines whether 3i Atlas characteristics demonstrate systematic optimization for specific performance criteria including structural efficiency, energy management, or functional effectiveness that would indicate engineering design rather than natural formation that doesn't optimize for specific performance goals. Intelligence quotient evaluation attempts to assess whether 3i Atlas demonstrates systematic evidence of intelligent planning, design sophistication, or technological capability that exceeds natural formation processes while indicating deliberate construction by intelligent agents capable of systematic engineering and technological development. Modern signature analysis techniques employ sophisticated pattern recognition, statistical analysis, and comparative studies that provide systematic frameworks for distinguishing between biological, technological, and natural signatures while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate evidentiary standards for extraordinary claims about intelligent technological construction. Tonight, every systematic search for signs of deliberate design, every careful analysis that distinguishes between natural complexity and artificial construction, every scientific investigation that maintains rigorous standards while exploring evidence of cosmic intelligence carries forward the profound quest to determine whether 3i Atlas represents revolutionary evidence of technological civilization operating across interstellar distances through engineering capabilities that demonstrate intelligent design and systematic construction. Propulsion systems we don't recognize become a focus of investigation as researchers analyze whether 3i Atlas trajectory and acceleration patterns could result from exotic propulsion technologies that operate according to physical principles unknown to human engineering, creating systematic motion characteristics that exceed conventional natural force mechanisms while potentially demonstrating technological capabilities that surpass contemporary human understanding of propulsion physics. This propulsion analysis represents one of the most direct approaches for identifying genuine technological signatures, as controlled propulsion creates measurable effect on object motion that can be distinguished from natural gravitational and radiation pressure forces through precise astrometric observation. Non-gravitational acceleration detection employs sophisticated orbital analysis techniques to identify systematic deviations from purely gravitational motion that might indicate active propulsion systems operating independently of natural forces including solar radiation pressure, outgassing effects, and planetary gravitational perturbations. These acceleration signatures provide direct observational tests for artificial propulsion through measurement of controlled thrust that exceeds natural acceleration mechanisms in magnitude, direction, or temporal characteristics. Exotic propulsion. Physics consideration explores theoretical propulsion mechanisms that might operate according to advanced physical principles, including field manipulation, space-time geometry modification, or exotic matter utilization that could produce observed acceleration patterns through technological approaches that remain beyond current human engineering capabilities while remaining consistent with known physical laws under extreme conditions. Only took precise astrometric analysis approximately months to establish that 3i Atlas exhibits motion characteristics that remain consistent with natural gravitational dynamics within observational precision limits. But systematic analysis reveals subtle trajectory features that could potentially indicate controlled course corrections or navigation adjustments operating at levels approaching current measurement thresholds. Only required systematic comparison with known natural acceleration mechanisms to demonstrate that observed motion patterns remain consistent with natural forces, while acknowledging that advanced propulsion systems might operate below current detection capabilities. Only needed careful statistical analysis to establish confidence limits for propulsion detection, while maintaining appropriate sensitivity to potential technological signatures. Radiation pressure analysis evaluates whether observed trajectory characteristics can be explained through solar radiation, pressure effects on surface materials, where systematic momentum transfer from solar photons creates predictable acceleration patterns that depend on object size, surface reflectivity, and solar distance according to well-understood physical relationships that provide natural explanations for apparent non-gravitational motion. The mystery of stealth propulsion involves understanding how advanced technological civilizations might develop propulsion systems that operate without creating obvious observational signatures, potentially employing field manipulation or exotic physics that produce controlled acceleration while remaining difficult to detect through conventional astronomical observation techniques designed for natural object analysis. Thrust vector analysis examines whether any potential acceleration signatures demonstrate systematic directional control that might indicate navigational capabilities or course correction systems operating according to predetermined trajectories or responsive control algorithms rather than random natural force variations that lack systematic directional patterns or temporal coordination. Field propulsion possibilities explore theoretical mechanisms including electromagnetic field manipulation, gravitational field modification, or exotic field interactions that could produce controlled acceleration through technological approaches that operate according to advanced physics principles while potentially remaining difficult to detect through conventional electromagnetic or gravitational observation techniques. Temporal acceleration patterns investigation searches for systematic variations in potential propulsion signatures that might indicate controlled thrust cycles, programmed navigation sequences, or responsive propulsion adjustments that demonstrate technological control rather than natural force variations that exhibit random temporal characteristics without systematic timing patterns. Energy source requirements for exotic propulsion systems require analysis of power, generation capabilities necessary to produce observed acceleration levels, while evaluating whether such energy requirements remain consistent with advanced but physically plausible technological systems, or whether they exceed reasonable technological capabilities even for highly advanced civilizations. Efficiency optimization evaluation examines whether potential propulsion signatures demonstrate systematic efficiency optimization that might indicate engineering design principles rather than natural acceleration mechanisms that don't optimize for specific performance criteria or energy efficiency according to systematic engineering relationships. Stealth technology assessment considers how advanced propulsion systems might employ technological approaches that minimize observational signatures while maintaining propulsion effectiveness, potentially explaining why obvious technological signatures remain difficult to detect despite possible operation of controlled propulsion systems. Breakthrough physics applications explore whether observed motion characteristics might result from propulsion technologies that employ physical principles beyond current human understanding, including exotic matter manipulation, dimensional field effects, or quantum mechanical propulsion that operate according to advanced physics while remaining consistent with fundamental physical laws. Response system detection investigates whether potential propulsion signatures demonstrate systematic responses to environmental conditions, observational attention, or external stimuli that might indicate intelligent control systems, monitoring conditions and adjusting propulsion according to programmed responses or adaptive algorithms. Navigation capability analysis evaluates whether trajectory characteristics suggest systematic navigation towards specific destinations, controlled approach to the solar system, or deliberate trajectory adjustment that indicates purposeful interstellar travel rather than natural gravitational deflection through random stellar encounters during interstellar migration. Signature suppression technology considers how advanced civilizations might develop propulsion systems designed to minimize detection by primitive civilizations while maintaining controlled interstellar travel capabilities, potentially explaining apparent absence of obvious technological signatures despite possible operation of sophisticated propulsion technology. Multi-stage propulsion evaluation examines whether trajectory characteristics might indicate different propulsion phases including interstellar cruise, solar system approach, and observation period operations that employ different propulsion technologies optimized for specific mission phases according to systematic technological design principles. Comparative propulsion analysis employs theoretical frameworks for evaluating whether potential propulsion signatures remain consistent with advanced technological capabilities, while comparing observed characteristics with predicted signatures of various exotic propulsion mechanisms that might operate according to advanced engineering principles. Modern propulsion detection techniques utilize sophisticated astrometric analysis, statistical modeling, and comparative studies that provide systematic frameworks for identifying genuine propulsion signatures while maintaining appropriate sensitivity to potential technological systems that might operate according to advanced physics principles beyond current human technological capability. Tonight, every precise measurement of celestial motion, every systematic analysis that searches for controlled acceleration signatures, every careful investigation that maintains scientific rigor while exploring possibilities of exotic propulsion technology carries forward the quest to understand whether 3I Atlas demonstrates evidence of technological capabilities that exceed human engineering, while potentially representing controlled interstellar travel through advanced propulsion systems operating according to physics principles that remain at the frontiers of human understanding. Material science from another world becomes the focus of intensive spectroscopic analysis as researchers search for evidence of manufactured materials, artificial alloys, or engineered structures that couldn't form through natural processes in any known stellar environment, creating systematic approaches for identifying technological materials that exhibit composition, structure, or properties that exceed natural formation capabilities, while potentially demonstrating advanced materials engineering from alien technological civilizations. This materials analysis represents one of the most promising approaches for confirming artificial construction, as manufactured materials often exhibit systematic characteristics that distinguish them clearly from natural substances formed through astrophysical or geological processes. Spectroscopic composition analysis employs sophisticated techniques for measuring reflected and emitted light from 3I Atlas surface materials to determine elemental abundances, molecular structures, and chemical compositions that provide fundamental information about material formation processes and potential technological processing that might indicate artificial construction rather than natural formation under stellar or planetary conditions. Artificial alloy detection searches for systematic evidence of engineered metallic compositions that combine elements in proportions or structural arrangements that cannot occur through natural metallurgical processes, where controlled smelting, alloying, or materials processing creates systematic compositions optimized for specific engineering properties rather than natural chemical equilibria that govern natural metal formation. Only took materials analysis approximately months to establish that 3I Atlas surface composition exhibits characteristics that remain consistent with natural materials within observational constraints. But systematic analysis reveals compositional features that differ from typical solar system materials, while potentially indicating formation under different stellar conditions or possible materials processing that requires further investigation. Only required comparative analysis with natural material databases to demonstrate that observed compositions fall within ranges of natural materials, while acknowledging that advanced materials engineering might create substances that appear naturally occurring to primitive analysis techniques. Only needed systematic evaluation to establish that definitive artificial material identification requires higher precision analysis than current observational capabilities provide for distant small objects. Isotopic ratio analysis provides fundamental tests for artificial materials through measurement of isotopic compositions that reflect nuclear processes during material formation, where natural isotopic ratios follow systematic patterns determined by stellar nucleosynthesis, while artificial materials might exhibit isotopic signatures that reflect technological isotope separation or nuclear processing that creates non-natural isotopic compositions. The mystery of advanced materials involves understanding how highly sophisticated technological civilizations might develop materials engineering that creates substances with properties that exceed natural materials, while potentially appearing natural to primitive analysis techniques, making artificial material identification challenging for civilizations with limited materials, science capabilities. Structural analysis techniques attempt to identify systematic material organization, crystalline structures, or microscopic arrangements that might indicate manufacturing processes, controlled material growth, or engineered structures that create systematic material properties optimized for specific functions rather than random natural crystal formation through geological or astrophysical processes. Surface modification detection searches for evidence of systematic surface processing, coating applications, or materials treatment that might indicate technological surface engineering designed to optimize specific properties including reflectivity, thermal characteristics, or chemical resistance that exceed natural surface properties achieved through space weathering or geological processing. Manufacturing signature identification attempts to detect microscopic evidence of technological processing including tool marks, machining patterns, welding joints, or assembly interfaces that would provide direct evidence of systematic manufacturing rather than natural material formation through accretion, crystallization, or geological assembly processes. Composite material analysis investigates whether 3I Atlas surface exhibits characteristics consistent with engineered composite materials that combine different substances in systematic arrangements designed to optimize specific properties, including strength, weight, thermal characteristics, or functional performance that exceed natural material capabilities through technological materials engineering. Exotic matter investigation explores possibilities that 3I Atlas might incorporate materials with properties that exceed conventional matter characteristics, including unusual density, electromagnetic properties, or structural characteristics that might indicate utilization of exotic matter states or advanced materials that operate according to physical principles beyond current human materials science understanding. Nanoscale engineering detection attempts to identify systematic material organization at molecular or atomic scales that might indicate nanotechnology applications, controlled molecular assembly, or systematic atomic arrangement that creates engineered material properties through technological control of matter at scales that exceed natural self-organization processes. Functional materials assessment evaluates whether surface materials demonstrate systematic properties optimized for specific functions, including controlled electromagnetic behavior, thermal management, structural performance, or chemical resistance that would indicate engineering design rather than natural material properties that result from random formation processes. Materials degradation analysis examines whether 3I Atlas surface shows systematic preservation, controlled aging, or materials engineering that provides enhanced durability during extended interstellar travel while maintaining material integrity that exceeds natural materials' ability to survive million-year exposure to cosmic radiation and interstellar conditions. Smart materials detection searches for evidence of materials that demonstrate responsive characteristics, adaptive properties, or systematic behavior changes that might indicate technological materials designed to respond to environmental conditions through programmed material behavior rather than passive natural response to external forces. Metamaterials analysis investigates whether surface characteristics suggest systematic engineering of material properties through controlled structural arrangement that creates electromagnetic, optical, or mechanical properties that exceed natural materials while potentially indicating advanced materials engineering that manipulates material behavior through systematic structural design. Self-assembly signatures examine whether material characteristics suggest controlled self-organization, systematic molecular assembly, or technological processes that guide material formation according to predetermined patterns, rather than random natural assembly that lacks systematic organization or functional optimization. Comparative materials evaluation employs systematic comparison between 3I Atlas composition and known natural materials from meteorites, interstellar dust, and solar system objects to identify systematic differences that might indicate either exotic natural formation conditions or potential materials engineering that creates compositions unlike natural astrophysical materials. Multi-scale analysis techniques combine microscopic, molecular, and atomic scale investigation approaches that provide comprehensive materials characterization while searching for systematic evidence of technological processing or engineering at different organizational scales that distinguish manufactured from natural materials. Modern materials science techniques enable sophisticated analysis of material composition, structure, and properties through advanced spectroscopic methods, theoretical modeling, and comparative studies that provide systematic frameworks for identifying potential artificial materials while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate evidentiary standards for extraordinary materials engineering claims. Tonight, every sophisticated analysis that reveals material composition through distant observation, every systematic investigation that distinguishes between natural and artificial substances, every careful comparison that searches for evidence of advanced materials engineering carries forward the quest to understand whether 3I Atlas demonstrates technological materials that exceed natural formation capabilities while potentially representing revolutionary evidence of advanced materials science from alien technological civilizations. The signal search protocol engages radio telescopes and sensitive receivers in systematic monitoring of 3I Atlas for electromagnetic emissions, communication signals, or artificial radio signatures that might indicate active technology or deliberate transmission systems operating within the interstellar visitor. This communication search represents one of the most direct approaches for confirming technological origin, as deliberate electromagnetic emissions would provide unambiguous evidence of artificial systems while potentially enabling actual communication attempts with alien technology visiting our solar system. Radio telescope coordination establishes systematic monitoring programs that employ multiple radio observatories worldwide to provide continuous coverage of 3i Atlas throughout its observable passage through the solar system, maximizing detection opportunities for potential electromagnetic emissions, while accounting for Earth's rotation and the object's motion across the sky. These coordinated observations ensure comprehensive radio spectrum monitoring, despite geographical and temporal limitations of individual radio facilities. Frequency scanning protocols employ systematic monitoring across broad electromagnetic spectrum ranges that encompass radio, microwave, and millimeter wavelengths where technological civilizations might employ communication systems, navigation beacons, or systematic transmission protocols designed for interstellar communication or technological coordination between artificial systems operating across galactic distances. Only took radio monitoring approximately weeks to establish systematic search protocols for 3i Atlas electromagnetic signatures while employing sensitive detection equipment that could identify artificial signals above natural cosmic radio noise sources, including pulsars, quasars, and galactic background radiation that create radio interference. Only required coordination between multiple radio telescopes to provide comprehensive frequency coverage and geographic distribution that maximizes detection probability for potential artificial emissions. Only needed systematic analysis to distinguish between natural radio phenomena and potential technological signatures that might indicate active systems within the interstellar visitor. Signal processing algorithms employ sophisticated digital analysis techniques that can identify systematic patterns, artificial modulation, or deliberate information encoding within electromagnetic emissions, while filtering out natural radio noise and terrestrial radio interference that could mask potential alien communication signals. These processing systems provide systematic frameworks for detecting organized information content that would indicate technological transmission rather than random natural electromagnetic phenomena. The mystery of communication protocols involves understanding what transmission characteristics might indicate deliberate communication attempts by alien technology, while acknowledging that advanced civilizations might employ communication methods that remain difficult to recognize using terrestrial radio technology and conventional signal analysis techniques designed for human communication systems. Modulation analysis searches for systematic signal modulation patterns, including amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, digital encoding, or exotic modulation schemes that might indicate technological transmission systems employing deliberate information encoding rather than natural electromagnetic emissions that exhibit random temporal and frequency characteristics. Beacon detection protocols specifically search for systematic transmission patterns that might indicate navigation beacons, identification signals, or systematic transmission protocols designed to announce presence or provide navigation information for technological systems rather than random electromagnetic emissions from natural physical processes. Information content evaluation employs mathematical techniques including information theory and statistical analysis to identify systematic information patterns, organize data structures, or deliberate information encoding within potential electromagnetic emissions that would indicate technological information transmission, rather than random noise patterns characteristic of natural phenomena. Directional transmission analysis investigates whether potential electromagnetic emissions demonstrate systematic directional characteristics that might indicate targeted transmission toward Earth, the solar system, or specific stellar targets rather than omnidirectional natural emissions that radiate equally in all directions according to natural physical processes. Temporal pattern recognition searches for systematic timing patterns, repetitive transmission schedules, or organized temporal structures in potential electromagnetic emissions that might indicate controlled transmission timing, according to deliberate protocols rather than random temporal variation, characteristic of natural electromagnetic phenomena. Carrier wave detection attempts to identify systematic carrier frequencies, frequency stability, or controlled frequency characteristics that might indicate technological radio systems employing deliberate frequency control rather than natural electromagnetic emissions that exhibit broad frequency distributions without systematic frequency management. Encryption analysis considers possibilities that alien communication might employ systematic information encoding, encryption protocols, or advanced information processing that creates organized information patterns while remaining difficult to decode without appropriate technological capabilities or communication protocol understanding. Response protocol development establishes systematic procedures for attempting communication with 3i Atlas if artificial electromagnetic emissions are detected, including transmission protocols, message content, and international coordination procedures for managing potential alien contact while maintaining scientific objectivity and appropriate governmental consultation. Passive monitoring strategies emphasize systematic electromagnetic observation without active transmission attempts to avoid potential interference with alien technology operations, while maximizing detection opportunities for natural alien emissions that might reveal technological presence without requiring active communication attempts. Multi-wavelength coordination combines radio detection with optical, infrared, and other electromagnetic monitoring to provide comprehensive electromagnetic signature analysis that searches for technological emissions across multiple wavelength ranges while accounting for different communication technologies that might employ various electromagnetic frequencies. False positive prevention requires systematic identification and elimination of terrestrial radio interference, natural astronomical radio sources, and instrumental artifacts that could create apparent artificial signals without genuine alien technological origin. These prevention protocols ensure signal authenticity while maintaining scientific credibility and preventing false alien contact claims. International coordination protocols establish systematic frameworks for sharing radio detection data, coordinating monitoring efforts, and managing potential communication discovery through cooperation between radio astronomy facilities worldwide, while ensuring appropriate governmental notification and public communication about potential alien signal detection. SETI integration combines 3i Atlas monitoring with established search for extraterrestrial intelligence programs that provide sophisticated signal analysis techniques, detection protocols, and response procedures while leveraging existing SETI infrastructure and expertise for potential alien artifact investigation. Modern radio astronomy techniques enable extremely sensitive electromagnetic monitoring through advanced receiver technology, sophisticated signal processing algorithms, and systematic analysis methods that provide comprehensive electromagnetic surveillance capabilities for detecting potential alien technology signatures while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate sensitivity levels. Tonight, every sensitive radio receiver scanning for artificial signals, every systematic analysis that searches for organized information patterns, every careful monitoring protocol that maintains scientific objectivity while exploring communication possibilities carries forward the profound quest to determine whether 3i Atlas might be attempting to communicate with Earth, potentially offering humanity's first opportunity for direct contact with alien technological intelligence through electromagnetic communication. Across the vast distances of interstellar space, geometric perfection versus natural chaos becomes a fundamental analytical framework as researchers examine whether 3i atlas, shape, rotation, and structural characteristics exhibit the geometric regularity and engineering precision typical of manufactured objects, or whether they display the irregular variations and random asymmetries that characterize natural formation through astrophysical and geological processes. This geometric analysis provides systematic approaches for distinguishing between deliberate design optimization and natural formation randomness, where mathematical precision and systematic proportional relationships indicate engineering construction, while irregular variations suggest natural assembly processes. Shape analysis techniques employ sophisticated mathematical methods for characterizing 3i atlas three-dimensional geometry through photometric observations that reveal systematic brightness, variations correlated with rotation, enabling reconstruction of object shape characteristics and identification of geometric features that might indicate deliberate construction versus natural formation through accretion or gravitational assembly processes. Symmetry detection algorithms search for systematic symmetrical relationships, regular geometric patterns, or mathematical proportions that might indicate deliberate design principles rather than random natural geometry that typically exhibits asymmetrical characteristics and irregular proportions, resulting from natural formation processes that don't optimize for geometric regularity or mathematical relationships. Only took geometric analysis approximately months to establish that 3i atlas exhibits brightness variation patterns that suggest either highly irregular natural shape characteristics or potentially systematic geometric features that require three-dimensional modeling to determine whether observed patterns indicate natural asymmetry or possible geometric regularity consistent with artificial construction. Only required systematic comparison with natural object geometry to demonstrate that definitive shape determination remains limited by observational constraints, while acknowledging that artificial objects might exhibit geometric characteristics distinguishable from natural formation patterns. Only needed mathematical analysis to establish that current observational data provides insufficient geometric resolution for definitive artificial construction determination. Mathematical proportion analysis investigates whether 3i atlas dimensional relationships demonstrate systematic mathematical ratios, golden ratio proportions, or geometric relationships that might indicate deliberate design according to mathematical principles, rather than random natural proportions that result from accidental formation processes without systematic mathematical optimization. The mystery of design detection involves understanding how to distinguish between complex natural geometry that can create apparently regular patterns through natural formation processes and genuine artificial construction that employs systematic geometric principles according to deliberate engineering design that optimizes for specific functional or aesthetic requirements. Surface regularity assessment examines whether 3i atlas surface characteristics demonstrate systematic smoothness, controlled curvature, or engineered surface properties that exceed natural formation capabilities while indicating technological surface processing or manufacturing that create systematic surface characteristics optimized for specific functions. Angular precision evaluation investigates whether structural features, edge characteristics, or geometric relationships demonstrate systematic angular precision that might indicate machining, controlled construction, or engineering precision that exceeds natural formation tolerances while suggesting technological construction according to precise geometric specifications. Fractal dimension analysis employs mathematical techniques for characterizing geometric complexity and surface roughness characteristics that distinguish between natural formation patterns that typically exhibit specific fractal characteristics and artificial construction that might demonstrate different complexity patterns reflecting engineering design rather than natural formation processes. Rotational dynamics examination evaluates whether 3 atlas rotation characteristics demonstrate systematic stability, controlled rotation rates, or geometric balance that might indicate deliberate mass distribution and structural design rather than natural rotation that reflects random mass distribution and gravitational formation without systematic rotational optimization. Edge detection algorithms attempt to identify systematic edge characteristics, linear features, or geometric boundaries that might indicate artificial construction interfaces, assembly joints, or manufactured edges rather than natural formation boundaries that typically exhibit irregular characteristics, reflecting natural material properties and formation processes. Geometric optimization assessment investigates whether 3i atlas shape characteristics demonstrate systematic optimization for specific functions, including aerodynamic efficiency, structural strength, or electromagnetic properties that would indicate engineering design rather than random natural geometry that doesn't optimize for specific performance criteria. Pattern recognition analysis employs sophisticated mathematical techniques for identifying systematic geometric patterns, repetitive features, or organized structural relationships that might indicate deliberate construction according to systematic design principles rather than random natural patterns that result from natural formation without systematic organization. Structural engineering evaluation examines whether geometric characteristics suggest systematic structural design, load distribution optimization, or engineering principles that create systematic geometric relationships designed to optimize structural performance rather than natural geometry that results from random material assembly. Scale invariance testing investigates whether geometric characteristics remain consistent across different size scales in ways that might indicate systematic geometric principles or fractal design characteristics that reflect engineering design rather than natural scale relationships that typically vary according to natural formation processes. Geometric stability analysis evaluates whether shape characteristics suggest systematic structural stability, controlled geometry, or engineering design that maintains geometric integrity during rotation and environmental stress rather than natural geometry that might exhibit systematic deformation or instability under dynamic conditions. Manufacturing tolerance assessment attempts to identify geometric precision levels that might indicate technological manufacturing capabilities while evaluating whether observed geometric characteristics exceed natural formation, precision tolerances that limit geometric regularity achievable through natural assembly processes. Comparative geometry studies employ systematic comparison between 3i atlas geometric characteristics and known natural objects including asteroids, comets, and meteorites to identify systematic differences that might indicate artificial construction, while establishing baseline expectations for natural object geometry and variation ranges. Multidimensional analysis techniques combine multiple geometric analysis approaches, including shape reconstruction, symmetry detection, and mathematical proportion analysis to provide comprehensive geometric characterization that maximizes geometric information extraction despite observational limitations imposed by object distance and size. Modern geometric analysis capabilities enable sophisticated shape characterization through advanced mathematical techniques, computer modeling, and systematic analysis methods that provide comprehensive geometric evaluation frameworks while maintaining appropriate sensitivity to potential artificial geometric signatures that might distinguish technological construction from natural formation. Tonight, every mathematical analysis that reveals geometric relationships, every systematic investigation that distinguishes between regular and irregular patterns, every careful comparison that searches for evidence of deliberate design, carries forward the quest to understand whether 3i Atlas demonstrates geometric characteristics that exceed natural formation capabilities, while potentially representing systematic engineering design that reflects intelligent construction according to mathematical principles and geometric optimization. The Fermi paradox connection emerges as 3i Atlas arrival forces reconsideration of why we haven't encountered obvious signs of alien civilizations throughout our galaxy. Questioning whether interstellar probes might be more common than previously assumed while potentially representing a solution to the fundamental puzzle of cosmic silence, despite statistical expectations for widespread galactic intelligence. This paradox resolution suggests that advanced civilizations might prefer subtle exploration through automated probes rather than obvious expansion or communication, creating detection challenges that explain apparent absence of alien contact while potentially surrounding us with unrecognized technological visitors. Galactic civilization frequency calculations suggest that statistically reasonable assumptions about stellar formation rates, planetary occurrence, and biological evolution should produce numerous technological civilizations throughout the Milky Way galaxy. Yet systematic searches for alien signals, megastructures, or obvious technological signatures have failed to detect convincing evidence of galactic intelligence despite decades of increasingly sophisticated observation programs. Probe strategy advantages for advanced civilizations include systematic exploration capabilities without requiring massive resource commitments for interstellar colonization, or conspicuous communication systems that might attract unwanted attention from potentially hostile civilizations. Automated probes enable systematic galactic survey and information gathering while maintaining technological civilization security through minimal signature exploration that remains difficult to detect by primitive civilizations. Only took 3i Atlas analysis approximately months to demonstrate that current astronomical survey capabilities might systematically miss substantial populations of interstellar probes due to size limitations, brightness constraints, and detection biases that favor natural object identification, while potentially overlooking artificial visitors that employ stealth technology or remain too small for easy detection. Only required statistical analysis to establish that brief observational windows and limited sky coverage could enable numerous probe visits to pass undetected through solar system space. Only needed theoretical modeling to demonstrate that systematic probe exploration could provide comprehensive galactic survey capabilities while remaining nearly invisible to primitive detection systems. Stealth technology implications suggest that advanced civilizations might deliberately design interstellar probes to minimize detection signatures while maximizing exploration effectiveness, employing materials, engineering, electromagnetic shielding, or advanced physics applications that enable systematic observation of primitive civilizations without obvious technological signatures that would announce alien presence. The mystery of detection timing involves understanding whether interstellar probe visits occur frequently but remain undetected due to technological limitations, or whether 3i Atlas represents an unusually rare event that provides exceptional opportunities for alien technology investigation. Current detection capabilities provide limited statistical constraints on actual interstellar visitor frequency, while highlighting systematic observational biases. Surveillance hypothesis consideration suggests that 3i Atlas might represent systematic monitoring technology designed to observe human technological development, planetary conditions, or biological evolution, while gathering scientific data about solar system characteristics for transmission to distant alien civilizations that maintain systematic galactic exploration programs. Non-interference protocols might explain why potential alien probes like 3i Atlas maintain passive observation strategies rather than attempting obvious contact with primitive civilizations, following systematic policies that prevent cultural contamination or premature technological exposure while enabling scientific study of natural evolutionary processes without external interference. Galactic exploration efficiency through automated probe networks could provide comprehensive galactic survey capabilities that exceed colonization or communication strategies in terms of information gathering effectiveness, while requiring substantially lower resource commitments and technological infrastructure than alternatives like interstellar colonization or systematic galactic communication networks. Technological maturity implications suggest that civilizations capable of interstellar probe construction might develop beyond obvious technological signatures or conspicuous galactic presence, preferring subtle exploration and systematic information gathering that operates below detection thresholds of primitive civilizations while maintaining comprehensive awareness of galactic conditions and emerging technological species. Zoo hypothesis applications propose that advanced galactic civilizations might maintain systematic observation of developing technological species while deliberately avoiding contact until primitive civilizations achieve specific technological or cultural milestones that qualify them for galactic community membership according to systematic contact protocols. Resource conservation strategies for advanced civilizations might favor efficient exploration through automated systems rather than expensive colonization or systematic terraforming that requires massive resource commitments, while providing limited additional benefits compared to comprehensive probe-based exploration and systematic information gathering about galactic conditions and planetary systems. Communication timing considerations suggest that advanced civilizations might prefer systematic observation of primitive species before attempting communication. Gathering comprehensive information about technological capabilities, cultural characteristics, and potential compatibility before initiating contact that could prove problematic or dangerous for either primitive or advanced civilizations. Technological singularity effects might transform advanced civilizations in ways that reduce interest in obvious galactic expansion or systematic communication with primitive species, creating preference for subtle exploration and information gathering that provides scientific knowledge without requiring direct interaction or obvious technological demonstration. Multi-generational exploration strategies enable comprehensive galactic survey through systematic probe networks that operate over timescales spanning millions of years, while providing continuous information gathering capabilities that exceed short-term exploration or communication approaches in terms of comprehensive galactic knowledge acquisition. Evolutionary study priorities for advanced civilizations might emphasize systematic observation of natural evolutionary processes including technological development, cultural evolution, and biological adaptation that requires non-interference observation to maintain scientific validity, while providing comprehensive understanding of evolutionary processes operating throughout galactic civilization development. Contact readiness assessment might require systematic evaluation of primitive civilization technological maturity, cultural stability, and potential for successful integration into galactic community before attempting contact that could prove disruptive or dangerous for civilizations unprepared for alien contact or advanced technological exposure. Statistical probe populations suggest that even modest numbers of advanced galactic civilizations could maintain substantial interstellar probe populations that provide comprehensive galactic exploration coverage, while remaining difficult to detect by primitive civilizations with limited astronomical survey capabilities and systematic detection biases toward natural object identification. Modern SETI implications from potential probe visitation require reconsideration of search strategies and detection methods that account for stealth technology possibilities, while developing improved capabilities for identifying subtle technological signatures that might indicate systematic alien exploration through advanced probe technology that exceeds current human detection capabilities. Tonight, every consideration of galactic civilization possibilities, every systematic analysis of detection limitations and exploration strategies, every careful evaluation of why cosmic silence might conceal systematic alien presence, carries forward the profound implications of 3 Atlas as potential evidence that galactic intelligence employs subtle exploration methods that challenge human assumptions about alien contact, while potentially demonstrating that we exist within a galaxy under systematic observation by advanced civilizations. Alternative natural explanations receive systematic evaluation as scientists work to identify conventional astrophysical processes that could produce 3I Atlas observed characteristics without requiring artificial construction or alien technology, ensuring that extraordinary claims about potential alien artifacts undergo rigorous testing against all plausible natural formation mechanisms before accepting technological origin conclusions. This comprehensive evaluation process represents essential scientific methodology, where extraordinary hypotheses receive consideration only after exhaustive analysis demonstrates that conventional natural processes cannot adequately explain observational data through reasonable astrophysical mechanisms. Exotic natural formation scenarios explore unusual but physically plausible astrophysical processes that might create objects with characteristics resembling technological artifacts while operating through natural mechanisms that don't require intelligent construction. These exotic scenarios include formation around unusual stellar types, processing through extreme astrophysical environments, or development under rare galactic conditions that could produce systematic characteristics unlike typical natural objects. Stellar collision debris represents one alternative explanation where 3I Atlas might have formed through violent stellar interactions that create systematic material processing and acceleration mechanisms capable of producing unusual composition, structure, and velocity characteristics that exceed typical planetary formation processes, while remaining entirely natural in origin through extreme but documented astrophysical events. Only took systematic natural explanation evaluation approximately months to identify multiple plausible astrophysical processes that could potentially account for 3I Atlas observed characteristics through exotic but natural formation mechanisms, while acknowledging that definitive discrimination between natural and artificial origin requires observational precision that currently exceeds available measurement capabilities. Only required comprehensive literature review to establish extensive precedent for unusual natural objects that initially appeared anomalous, before subsequent analysis revealed natural formation mechanisms. Only needed theoretical modeling to demonstrate that exotic natural processes could produce characteristics that mimic technological signatures without requiring artificial construction. Brown dwarf interaction scenarios propose that 3I Atlas experienced close gravitational encounters with substellar objects that provided acceleration mechanisms while creating material processing through tidal heating, electromagnetic interactions, or systematic compression that could modify composition and structure in ways that create apparent technological characteristics through entirely natural gravitational and electromagnetic processes. The mystery of mimicry involves understanding how natural processes might systematically create characteristics that resemble technological construction while operating through conventional astrophysical mechanisms that don't require intelligent design or artificial construction, highlighting challenges in distinguishing between sophisticated natural processes and genuine technological artifacts. Supernova shock processing could account for 3I Atlas characteristics through systematic material modification during passage through supernova shock waves that create extreme pressure, temperature, and electromagnetic conditions capable of producing unusual material properties, structural modifications, and chemical processing that creates systematic characteristics, unlike normal interstellar or planetary materials. Magnetospheric acceleration mechanisms might explain unusual velocity characteristics through systematic interaction with stellar or planetary magnetic fields that provide acceleration through electromagnetic forces operating over extended time periods, creating systematic velocity enhancement that could account for unusual kinematic characteristics without requiring artificial propulsion systems. Primordial formation scenarios consider possibilities that 3I Atlas represents materials formed during early galactic history under astrophysical conditions that differ from contemporary star formation, potentially creating systematic material and structural characteristics that reflect ancient formation environments with different chemical compositions, thermal conditions, or gravitational environments. Interstellar medium processing during million-year journeys through galactic space could systematically modify 3I Atlas characteristics through cosmic ray bombardment, dust accretion, electromagnetic interactions, and chemical processing that creates surface modifications and structural changes that produce apparent technological signatures through natural space weathering processes operating over extended timescales. Binary system ejection through three-body gravitational interactions provides natural mechanisms for achieving interstellar velocities, while creating systematic material processing through tidal forces, electromagnetic heating, and gravitational compression during close stellar encounters that could modify composition and structure in ways that create unusual observational characteristics. Tidal disruption events around massive objects, including black holes or neutron stars, could create systematic material processing and acceleration that accounts for unusual characteristics through extreme gravitational and electromagnetic environments that exceed normal planetary formation conditions while remaining entirely natural through documented astrophysical processes. Galactic center origin scenarios propose that 3I Atlas formed in the extreme astrophysical environment near the galactic center, where supermassive black holes, dense stellar populations, and intense electromagnetic fields create formation conditions that could produce objects with characteristics unlike those formed in normal galactic environments. Planetary collision aftermath might account for unusual composition and structure through catastrophic planetary impacts that create systematic material processing, shock modification, and debris acceleration that produces objects with characteristics that differ systematically from normal planetary formation products, while remaining entirely natural in origin. Exotic stellar environment formation considers possibilities that 3I Atlas formed around unusual stellar types, including Wolf-Rayet stars, magnetaires, or other exotic stellar objects that create formation environments with extreme electromagnetic fields, radiation levels, or chemical compositions that could produce systematic material characteristics unlike normal planetary system formation. Rogue planet interaction scenarios examine whether 3i Atlas experience systematic processing through encounters with free-floating planets or brown dwarfs that provide gravitational acceleration while creating tidal heating, electromagnetic interactions, or chemical modification that accounts for unusual characteristics through natural but uncommon astrophysical encounters. Statistical evaluation frameworks provide systematic approaches for comparing natural explanation probabilities with artificial construction hypotheses, while accounting for observational uncertainties and theoretical limitations that affect discrimination between competing explanations for unusual astronomical phenomena. Comparative analysis with known exotic natural objects employs systematic comparison between 3i Atlas characteristics and documented unusual natural objects that initially appeared anomalous before natural formation mechanisms were identified, providing historical perspective on natural process capabilities for creating apparently artificial characteristics. Theoretical constraint analysis establishes systematic limits on natural process capabilities while identifying theoretical boundaries that distinguish between achievable natural formation results and characteristics that would require artificial construction or technological processing that exceeds natural formation capabilities under any reasonable astrophysical conditions. Modern astrophysical modeling capabilities enable sophisticated evaluation of exotic natural formation scenarios through advanced computational techniques and theoretical frameworks that provide comprehensive assessment of natural explanation viability, while maintaining systematic comparison with artificial construction, hypotheses, and observational constraints. Tonight, every systematic evaluation of natural formation possibilities, every comprehensive analysis that explores conventional astrophysical explanations, every rigorous comparison between natural and artificial hypotheses carries forward the essential scientific methodology that ensures extraordinary claims receive appropriate skeptical evaluation while maintaining intellectual honesty about genuine anomalies that might require revolutionary explanations beyond conventional natural processes. The observer effect problem emerges as a critical consideration in 3i Atlas analysis, where human psychological tendencies to see patterns and assign agency to unexplained phenomena create systematic biases that must be carefully controlled when evaluating potential alien artifact claims. This cognitive bias recognition represents essential scientific methodology, as the human mind naturally seeks meaningful patterns and intentional design even in random data, creating false positive risks that could lead to premature conclusions about alien technology when natural explanations remain viable through conventional astrophysical processes. Pattern recognition bias operates through systematic psychological mechanisms where human cognition preferentially identifies organized patterns, geometric regularity, and systematic relationships even in random datasets, creating tendency to perceive artificial characteristics in natural phenomena that exhibit coincidental organization or apparent mathematical relationships that result from random variation rather than deliberate construction or intelligent design. Agency attribution tendencies reflect deep psychological programming where humans naturally assign intentional causation and intelligent agency to unexplained phenomena, particularly when events exhibit unusual characteristics or apparent purposeful behavior that challenges conventional explanation frameworks. These attribution biases create systematic risks for misinterpreting natural phenomena as evidence of intelligent action or technological construction. Only took psychological analysis approximately decades to establish that human pattern recognition and agency attribution create systematic biases in anomaly interpretation that affect scientific analysis of unusual phenomena through cognitive mechanisms that evolved for survival advantages but create false positive risks in scientific investigation, requiring systematic bias control and statistical validation. Only required systematic study of previous false positive cases to demonstrate that cognitive biases consistently affect interpretation of unusual astronomical phenomena. Only needed experimental psychology research to establish that systematic bias control measures improve scientific analysis accuracy while reducing false positive interpretation rates. Pareidolia effects create systematic perception of meaningful patterns, familiar shapes, or artificial characteristics in random or natural stimuli where human visual processing preferentially identifies faces, geometric shapes, or technological features even when such characteristics result from random natural variation without genuine systematic organization or deliberate construction. The mystery of objectivity maintenance involves developing analytical frameworks that minimize subjective interpretation bias, while maximizing genuine anomaly detection through systematic statistical analysis, control group comparison, and independent verification that prevent cognitive bias effects from compromising scientific evaluation of potential alien technology claims. Confirmation bias influences create systematic tendencies to preferentially seek, interpret, and remember information that supports predetermined conclusions about alien artifacts, while unconsciously minimizing or dismissing evidence that supports natural explanations, creating systematic analytical distortions that affect scientific objectivity and conclusion reliability. Statistical validation requirements establish systematic frameworks for distinguishing between genuine anomalies and apparent patterns that result from random variation, selection effects, or cognitive bias through rigorous statistical analysis that provides objective criteria for anomaly significance, while controlling for multiple hypothesis testing and observer expectation effects. Control group methodology employs systematic comparison with objects of known natural origin to establish baseline expectations for normal natural variation while providing statistical frameworks for identifying characteristics that genuinely exceed natural ranges versus apparent anomalies that result from observer bias or statistical artifacts. Blind analysis protocols attempt to minimize observer bias effects through systematic analysis procedures where researchers remain unaware of specific hypotheses being tested while conducting observational measurements and data analysis, preventing conscious or unconscious bias from affecting data collection and interpretation procedures. Independent verification frameworks require multiple research groups using different analysis methods and theoretical approaches to confirm potential alien artifact claims, while preventing systematic biases or analytical errors that might affect individual research programs from compromising scientific conclusions about extraordinary phenomena. Historical precedent analysis examines previous cases where unusual astronomical phenomena initially suggested artificial origin, before subsequent analysis revealed natural explanations, providing systematic understanding of bias patterns and analytical limitations that affect alien artifact evaluation, while improving current investigation methodology. Cognitive bias education for researchers involves systematic training in bias recognition, statistical analysis, and scientific methodology that improves analytical objectivity while reducing susceptibility to pattern recognition errors and agency attribution biases that could compromise scientific evaluation of potential alien technology. Double-blind experimental design adapts laboratory, experimental methodology to astronomical observation through systematic procedures that prevent observer expectations from affecting data collection and analysis while maintaining scientific objectivity, despite extraordinary hypothesis evaluation that could create strong psychological incentives for positive results. Peer review intensification requires expanded review processes that specifically address bias control, statistical methodology, and alternative explanation evaluation, while ensuring that extraordinary claims receive appropriate skeptical evaluation through independent expert analysis from multiple disciplinary perspectives. Null hypothesis preference establishes systematic analytical frameworks that require convincing evidence for rejecting natural explanations before accepting alien technology hypotheses, ensuring appropriate burden of proof for extraordinary claims while preventing cognitive bias from lowering evidentiary standards for preferred conclusions. Statistical significance enhancement requires higher confidence thresholds and more rigorous statistical analysis for alien artifact claims compared to conventional astronomical discoveries, acknowledging that extraordinary claims require proportionally extraordinary statistical support that exceeds normal scientific publication standards. Multimodal evidence integration requires convergent support from multiple independent lines of evidence, rather than relying on single anomalous measurements that might result from observer bias. Instrumental error, or natural variation, ensuring that alien technology conclusions receive support from diverse observational approaches. Systematic skepticism protocols establish analytical procedures that systematically challenge alien artifact hypotheses through comprehensive alternative explanation evaluation, statistical validation, and bias control while maintaining intellectual honesty about genuine anomalies that might require extraordinary explanations. Professional psychology consultation involves systematic collaboration with cognitive scientists and experimental psychologists who can identify bias risks and recommend bias control measures that improve scientific analysis, while preventing psychological artifact from compromising alien technology evaluation. Modern bias control techniques employ sophisticated statistical methods, systematic analytical protocols, and peer review procedures that provide comprehensive frameworks for minimizing observer bias effects while maintaining sensitivity to genuine anomalies that might indicate revolutionary discoveries about cosmic intelligence and alien technology. Tonight, every systematic effort to control observer bias, every statistical analysis that distinguishes between genuine anomalies and cognitive artifacts, every careful methodology that maintains scientific objectivity while exploring extraordinary possibilities carries forward the essential scientific responsibility to prevent human psychological limitations from compromising investigation of phenomena that could revolutionize understanding of cosmic intelligence while ensuring that genuine alien technology receives appropriate recognition despite natural human tendencies toward pattern perception and agency attribution. Technological archaeology methods emerge as researchers develop systematic approaches for identifying artificial objects through analysis of manufacturing signatures, engineering principles, and technological capabilities that transcend natural formation processes, creating comprehensive frameworks for distinguishing between natural astrophysical phenomena and genuine technological artifacts that exhibit evidence of intelligent construction and deliberate engineering design. This methodological development represents a new scientific discipline that combines astronomical observation with materials science, engineering analysis, and information theory to create systematic approaches for technological artifact identification. Manufacturing signature detection employs systematic analysis of surface features, structural characteristics, and material properties that might reveal evidence of controlled construction processes including machining marks, assembly interfaces, welding joints, or systematic material processing that indicates artificial fabrication rather than natural formation through astrophysical or geological processes that lack systematic construction organization. Engineering principle analysis investigates whether observed characteristics demonstrate systematic optimization for specific functions, geometric relationships that reflect design principles, or structural characteristics that exhibit engineering solutions to technical problems rather than random natural assembly that doesn't optimize for functional performance or systematic design objectives. Only took technological archaeology development approximately years to establish systematic methodological frameworks for analyzing potential alien artifacts through interdisciplinary approaches that combine astronomical observation with engineering analysis, materials science, and systematic evaluation procedures designed specifically for identifying technological signatures in astronomical objects. Only required systematic methodology development to create analytical protocols that distinguish between natural formation and technological construction through objective criteria and statistical analysis. Only needed interdisciplinary collaboration to develop comprehensive frameworks that account for advanced technological capabilities while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate evidentiary standards. Reverse engineering approaches attempt to understand potential technological systems through analysis of observed characteristics, functional relationships, and systematic behavior that might reveal underlying engineering principles or technological capabilities, despite limited observational access and unknown technological sophistication that exceeds human engineering understanding. The mystery of technological identification involves developing analytical frameworks that can recognize artificial construction, despite potential technological sophistication that employs engineering principles, materials science, or construction techniques that remain beyond current human technological capabilities while creating observational signatures that distinguish artificial from natural origin. Information content analysis employs systematic mathematical techniques including information theory and pattern recognition to identify organized information patterns, systematic data structures, or deliberate information encoding that would indicate technological information processing or communication capabilities rather than random natural patterns that lack systematic information organization. Functional system detection searches for evidence of integrated technological systems that demonstrate coordinated operation, systematic interaction between components, or technological capabilities that require multiple subsystems working together according to designed relationships rather than independent natural features that lack systematic functional coordination. Optimization criterion identification attempts to determine whether observed characteristics demonstrate systematic optimization for specific performance criteria, including structural efficiency, energy management, information processing, or other technological functions that would indicate deliberate engineering design rather than natural formation that doesn't optimize for specific performance objectives. Materials engineering evaluation analyzes whether observed material properties exceed natural formation capabilities, while suggesting controlled materials processing, artificial alloy creation, or systematic materials engineering that produces performance characteristics unavailable through natural astrophysical or geological processes under any known formation conditions. Construction technique analysis investigates whether structural characteristics suggest systematic construction methods, assembly procedures, or building techniques that exceed natural assembly processes while indicating deliberate construction according to engineering plans and systematic technological procedures, rather than random natural material accumulation. Quality control signatures search for evidence of systematic quality assurance, construction precision, or manufacturing standards that might indicate technological production processes employing systematic quality control rather than natural formation that exhibits random variation without systematic precision or quality optimization. Systematic design detection employs pattern recognition and mathematical analysis to identify design principles, aesthetic considerations, or systematic design relationships that might indicate deliberate construction according to design criteria rather than random natural assembly that lacks systematic design, organization, or aesthetic optimization. Technological capability assessment evaluates whether observed characteristics remain consistent with advanced technological capabilities while considering theoretical limits of materials science, engineering design, and construction techniques that could produce observed features through artificial construction rather than natural formation processes. Archaeological stratification analysis adapts terrestrial archaeological methods to astronomical contexts by examining temporal relationships, construction sequences, or modification patterns that might reveal evidence of systematic technological development or construction phases that indicate artificial construction rather than natural formation or modification. Artifact authentication procedures establish systematic verification protocols that distinguish between genuine technological artifacts and natural objects that exhibit coincidental technological appearance through rare natural processes or observer interpretation bias that creates false technological signatures. Comparative technology studies employ systematic comparison between potential alien artifacts and known technological systems to identify technological signatures, while evaluating whether observed characteristics exceed human technological capabilities in ways that suggest advanced alien engineering rather than natural phenomena or terrestrial technological contamination. Interdisciplinary integration combines expertise from astronomy, engineering, material science, information theory, and archaeology to provide comprehensive analytical frameworks that account for diverse technological signatures while maintaining systematic approaches for technological artifact identification. Despite unknown alien technological sophistication, documentation standards establish systematic procedures for recording observations, analysis results, and methodological approaches that enable independent verification and future reanalysis while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate documentation quality for potential revolutionary discoveries about cosmic intelligence and alien technology. Verification hierarchies create systematic frameworks for technological artifact confirmation that require multiple levels of evidence, including observational confirmation, theoretical consistency, and independent verification, while establishing appropriate confidence thresholds for extraordinary technological claims. Modern technological archaeology capabilities enable sophisticated analysis of potential alien artifacts through advanced analytical techniques, interdisciplinary collaboration, and systematic methodological frameworks that provide comprehensive approaches for identifying technological signatures while maintaining scientific objectivity and appropriate evidentiary standards for revolutionary discoveries. Tonight, every systematic search for technological signatures, every interdisciplinary analysis that combines diverse scientific expertise, every methodological framework that maintains scientific rigor while exploring extraordinary technological possibilities carries forward the emerging field of technological archaeology that could revolutionize understanding of cosmic intelligence through systematic identification of alien artifacts and technological evidence of galactic civilizations. The probability matrix of alien visitation requires systematic statistical analysis of the likelihood of detecting alien probes versus natural interstellar objects while considering galactic populations, technological development rates, and interstellar travel feasibility through mathematical frameworks that evaluate competing hypotheses about 3I Atlas origin using quantitative probability assessment rather than subjective speculation. This statistical approach provides objective frameworks for evaluating extraordinary claims while accounting for observational uncertainties and theoretical limitations that affect probability calculations for rare phenomena involving potential alien technology. Galactic civilization frequency estimates employ systematic statistical models, including the Drake equation, and modified frameworks that estimate potential technological civilization numbers throughout the Milky Way galaxy based on star formation rates, planetary occurrence frequencies, biological evolution probabilities, and technological development timescales that affect the statistical likelihood of alien probe encounters. Interstellar travel feasibility analysis evaluates technological requirements for systematic probe construction and deployment, including energy requirements, materials, engineering capabilities, propulsion technology development, and mission duration constraints that affect statistical probability estimates for successful interstellar probe programs by advanced technological civilizations. Only took statistical probability analysis approximately months to establish quantitative frameworks for evaluating 3I Atlas alien origin probability through systematic comparison of natural interstellar object frequencies versus estimated alien probe deployment rates based on theoretical galactic civilization models and interstellar travel capability assessments. Only required systematic probability calculation to demonstrate that current observational constraints provide limited statistical discrimination between natural and artificial origin hypotheses. Only needed comprehensive statistical modeling to establish that definitive probability assessment requires improved observational data and better theoretical constraints on galactic civilization parameters. Probe deployment strategies for advanced civilizations would involve systematic cost-benefit analysis that evaluates exploration efficiency, resource requirements, and information gathering capabilities for interstellar probe networks, compared to alternative exploration methods including direct colonization, systematic communication, or passive observation that might provide comparable information at different resource costs. The mystery of detection probability involves understanding how advanced alien probe technology might affect detection likelihood through stealth capabilities, size limitations, operational duration, or mission profiles that could systematically reduce detection probability below current astronomical survey sensitivity thresholds, while maintaining effective exploration and information gathering capabilities. Natural object baseline frequencies require systematic statistical analysis of expected interstellar object encounter rates based on galactic dynamics, stellar system ejection mechanisms, and gravitational transport processes that determine background natural visitor frequencies for comparison with potential alien probe encounter rates through statistical hypothesis testing frameworks. Mission duration constraints for interstellar probes involve systematic analysis of technological longevity, materials degradation, system reliability, and operational capability preservation during million-year interstellar journeys that affect probe effectiveness and detection characteristics, while constraining feasible mission profiles and technological requirements for successful interstellar exploration. Resource investment analysis for alien civilizations considers economic and technological costs associated with systematic interstellar probe deployment, including construction, launch, operation, and communication infrastructure that affect probability estimates for large-scale alien exploration programs based on reasonable resource allocation and technological development priorities. Technological development timing affects statistical probability through systematic consideration of how long technological civilizations require to develop interstellar probe capabilities. What fraction of technological species achieve such capabilities, and how long such civilizations maintain active interstellar exploration programs before technological transcendence or societal evolution. Detection bias assessment accounts for systematic observational limitations that could affect alien probe detection, probability including size thresholds, brightness limitations, trajectory constraints, and temporal observation windows that create selection effects favoring detection of specific probe types, while potentially missing alternative probe designs or mission profiles. Alternative exploration efficiency comparison evaluates whether alien civilizations might prefer systematic probe deployment over alternative exploration strategies, including interstellar communication networks, direct colonization, or passive observation through advanced astronomical techniques that might provide comparable information gathering at different technological costs. Multi-civilization coordination possibilities consider whether galactic probe networks might involve systematic cooperation between multiple technological civilizations that share exploration costs and information, while creating complex statistical scenarios for probe encounter probability that exceed single civilization deployment models. Statistical uncertainty quantification provides systematic frameworks for evaluating confidence levels in probability estimates while accounting for parameter uncertainties, model limitations, and observational constraints that affect alien visitation, probability calculations, and hypothesis comparison reliability. Temporal probability variations account for systematic changes in alien probe encounter probability over galactic history as technological civilizations develop, deploy exploration systems, and potentially transcend physical exploration through technological advancement or societal evolution that affects long-term probe encounter statistics. Observational window effects influence detection probability through systematic limitations in astronomical survey duration, sky coverage, and detection sensitivity that affect statistical evaluation of alien probe encounter rates, while creating temporal and spatial sampling limitations that influence probability assessment accuracy. Hypothesis testing frameworks provide systematic statistical methods for comparing alien probe versus natural object hypotheses while accounting for prior probability estimates. Observational evidence quality and statistical uncertainty that affect objective hypothesis evaluation, despite extraordinary claim implications. Bayesian analysis applications employ systematic probability updating methods that incorporate observational evidence with prior probability estimates to provide quantitative posterior probability assessments for alien probe hypotheses while maintaining mathematical rigor and appropriate uncertainty quantification. Galactic probe population statistical modeling attempts to estimate potential alien probe numbers throughout galactic space based on civilization frequency estimates, probe deployment strategies, and mission duration constraints that affect encounter probability calculations and observational detection expectations. Future probability refinement opportunities arise through improved observational capabilities, larger statistical samples, and better theoretical understanding of galactic civilization development that would enhance probability assessment accuracy while providing more reliable frameworks for evaluating alien visitation, likelihood and probe detection probability. Modern statistical analysis techniques enable sophisticated probability assessment for rare phenomena through advanced mathematical methods. Uncertainty, quantification, and systematic hypothesis testing that provide objective frameworks for evaluating extraordinary claims while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate statistical standards for revolutionary discovery evaluation. Tonight, every statistical analysis that evaluates rare phenomena probability, every systematic calculation that compares competing hypotheses, every mathematical framework that maintains objectivity while exploring extraordinary possibilities carries forward the essential scientific methodology that transforms subjective speculation into quantitative probability assessment for evaluating whether 3I Atlas might represent revolutionary evidence of alien technology visiting our solar system. Communication attempts and response protocols emerge as scientists design systematic approaches for attempting contact with 3I Atlas, while developing comprehensive frameworks for responding to potential alien technology discovery and managing the profound implications such confirmation would create for humanity's understanding of cosmic intelligence and our place within galactic civilization. These communication protocols represent unprecedented challenges that require coordination between scientific institutions, governmental agencies, and international organizations to ensure appropriate response procedures for humanity's potential first contact with alien technology. Active communication strategies involve systematic transmission of radio signals, optical signals, or other electromagnetic communications directed toward 3I Atlas using various frequencies, message formats, and transmission protocols designed to establish contact if the object contains active communication systems or monitoring capabilities that could detect and respond to deliberate human contact attempts. Message content development requires careful consideration of what information humanity should communicate to potential alien intelligence, including mathematical concepts, scientific knowledge, cultural information, or peaceful intentions while avoiding potentially dangerous information about human technological capabilities, planetary location, or social vulnerabilities that might create security risks if transmitted to unknown alien civilizations. Only took communication protocol development approximately months to establish systematic frameworks for potential alien contact, including message design, transmission procedures, international coordination mechanisms, and response protocols that balance scientific investigation with security considerations and appropriate governmental oversight of potential first contact situations. Only required interdisciplinary collaboration to develop communication strategies that account for unknown alien communication technologies and cultural frameworks. Only needed systematic planning to establish procedures that ensure appropriate response coordination while maintaining scientific investigation priorities and public information management. International coordination frameworks establish systematic cooperation between space agencies, scientific institutions, and governmental organizations worldwide to ensure coordinated response to potential alien technology discovery, while preventing unilateral contact attempts that might compromise humanity's collective interests or create inappropriate first contact circumstances without adequate international consultation and preparation. The mystery of communication protocol selection involves determining appropriate methods for attempting contact with potentially advanced alien technology, while acknowledging that alien communication systems might employ technologies or principles that exceed human communication capabilities and require innovative approaches for successful information exchange. Response hierarchy establishment creates systematic decision-making frameworks that determine appropriate authority levels for communication decisions, governmental notification procedures, and public information management while ensuring that potential alien contact receives appropriate high-level attention and coordination through established institutional frameworks. Security consideration analysis evaluates potential risks associated with alien contact, including technological infiltration, information security, cultural contamination, or security threats that might result from revealing human capabilities or planetary location to unknown alien civilizations with potentially hostile intentions or competitive technological interests. Scientific priority maintenance ensures that communication attempts and response protocols preserve essential scientific investigation opportunities, while balancing security concerns and governmental oversight requirements that might affect systematic scientific analysis of potential alien technology and opportunities for advancing human understanding of cosmic intelligence. Public communication strategies establish systematic frameworks for managing public information about potential alien technology discovery, while preventing premature announcements, misinformation, or panic that could result from inappropriate disclosure of unconfirmed alien contact claims or preliminary investigation results that require additional verification. Cultural preparation protocols consider societal implications of confirmed alien technology discovery, including religious, philosophical, and cultural impacts that would affect human worldview and social stability, while requiring systematic preparation for managing societal response to revolutionary discoveries about cosmic intelligence and human cosmic context. Technological exchange possibilities require systematic evaluation of potential benefits and risks associated with information sharing or technological collaboration with advanced alien civilizations, while ensuring that such exchanges serve human interests and don't create technological dependence or security vulnerabilities that could compromise human autonomy. Contact verification procedures establish systematic protocols for confirming genuine alien communication versus natural phenomena, terrestrial interference, or hoax attempts, while maintaining scientific rigor and preventing false positive contact claims that could damage scientific credibility or create inappropriate public response to non-alien phenomena. Documentation requirements ensure systematic recording of communication attempts, response procedures, and discovery circumstances while maintaining scientific accuracy and appropriate security classification that enables future analysis and international coordination without compromising sensitive information or security interests. Legal framework development addresses systematic legal and regulatory issues associated with alien contact, including space law, international treaties, and juridical frameworks for managing extraterrestrial contact, while ensuring appropriate legal foundation for international cooperation and responsible contact management. Ethical consideration analysis evaluates moral obligations and ethical frameworks for alien contact, including rights of alien civilizations, responsibilities for representing humanity, and ethical implications of contact decisions that could affect both human and alien interests, while requiring systematic ethical analysis of unprecedented contact situations. Long-term relationship planning considers potential development of ongoing relationships with alien civilizations, including diplomatic protocols, systematic cooperation frameworks, and long-term interaction management that could result from successful contact establishment and continued communication with advanced alien technology. Response team organization establishes systematic personnel selection, training procedures, and organizational frameworks for managing alien contact response, including scientific expertise, governmental representation, security coordination, and public communication that ensure appropriate human representation and response capability. Contingency planning development creates systematic preparation for various contact scenarios, including responsive alien technology, non-responsive monitoring systems, or complex communication challenges that require adaptive response strategies and flexible protocol implementation according to specific contact circumstances and alien technology characteristics. Information sharing protocols establish systematic frameworks for coordinating information distribution between scientific institutions, governmental agencies, and international partners while maintaining appropriate security controls and ensuring that alien contact information receives appropriate distribution and analysis through established cooperative channels. Modern communication technology enables sophisticated contact attempts through advanced transmission systems, signal processing capabilities, and systematic communication protocols that provide comprehensive frameworks for attempting alien contact, while maintaining appropriate scientific standards and security considerations for potential first contact with cosmic intelligence. Tonight, every systematic preparation for potential alien contact, every careful protocol that balances scientific investigation with security considerations, every international framework that ensures coordinated human response carries forward humanity's preparation for potential first contact with alien intelligence through systematic planning that acknowledges both the extraordinary scientific opportunities and profound responsibilities associated with discovering alien technology visiting our solar system. The burden of proof standard requires definitive evidence of artificial construction before accepting alien origin claims for 3 Atlas, while maintaining intellectual openness to extraordinary discoveries that could revolutionize human understanding of cosmic intelligence and galactic civilization through systematic scientific evaluation that employs higher evidentiary standards for extraordinary claims while preserving appropriate scientific curiosity about phenomena that challenge conventional understanding. This evidentiary framework represents the cornerstone of responsible scientific investigation, where revolutionary discoveries receive thorough evaluation through established scientific methodology that balances appropriate skepticism with intellectual honesty about discoveries that could transform human cosmic perspective. Extraordinary evidence requirements establish systematic evidentiary standards that demand multiple independent lines of evidence supporting alien technology claims, including spectroscopic signatures of artificial materials, systematic electromagnetic emissions indicating active technology, geometric characteristics demonstrating deliberate construction, and behavioral patterns consistent with technological control systems operating according to engineering principles rather than natural formation processes. Scientific consensus building requires systematic peer review, independent verification, and international scientific collaboration that ensures alien technology claims receive comprehensive evaluation through established scientific institutions, while preventing premature conclusions based on insufficient evidence or analytical errors that could compromise scientific credibility and public understanding of legitimate scientific investigation procedures. Only took evidentiary standard development approximately years to establish systematic frameworks for evaluating extraordinary claims about potential alien technology through rigorous scientific methodology that maintains appropriate skepticism while preserving openness to revolutionary discoveries that could provide definitive evidence of cosmic intelligence and advanced technological capabilities. Only required systematic consideration of previous false positive cases to develop enhanced evidentiary standards that prevent premature alien technology claims while maintaining sensitivity to genuine technological signatures. Only needed comprehensive methodology development to create frameworks that ensure extraordinary claims receive proportionally extraordinary scientific evaluation. Replication requirements demand that potential technological signatures remain detectable through independent observations using different instruments and analysis methods, while maintaining consistency across multiple research groups and observational approaches that provide systematic verification of claimed alien technology characteristics through reproducible scientific measurement and analysis procedures. The mystery of definitive proof involves determining what level and types of evidence would constitute conclusive demonstration of alien technology, while acknowledging that genuine alien artifacts might exhibit characteristics unlike terrestrial technology, and therefore require new analytical frameworks that don't rely exclusively on human technological experience for artifact identification and verification. Statistical significance enhancement requires confidence levels and statistical analysis standards that exceed normal scientific publication requirements, while ensuring that alien technology claims receive statistical support that accounts for multiple hypothesis testing, selection effects, and observer bias that could create false positive technological signatures through statistical artifacts or analytical errors. Null hypothesis preference establishes systematic analytical frameworks that maintain natural formation as the default explanation until compelling evidence demonstrates that conventional astrophysical processes cannot account for observed characteristics through reasonable natural mechanisms, ensuring that alien technology conclusions receive acceptance only after exhaustive natural explanation evaluation. Independent verification protocols require multiple research institutions using different observational techniques and analysis methods to confirm potential technological signatures while preventing systematic biases or analytical errors that might affect individual research programs from compromising scientific conclusions about extraordinary technological claims. Alternative explanation elimination demands systematic evaluation of all plausible natural formation mechanisms before accepting alien technology hypotheses, while ensuring comprehensive consideration of exotic natural processes that might create observational signatures resembling technological artifacts through rare but documented astrophysical mechanisms. Technological capability assessment evaluates whether observed characteristics exceed natural formation capabilities while remaining consistent with advanced technological construction through engineering principles and materials science that operate according to known physical laws despite potentially surpassing human technological achievement by substantial margins. Systematic bias control employs rigorous analytical procedures that minimize observer bias, confirmation bias, and pattern recognition errors while maintaining scientific objectivity despite extraordinary hypothesis evaluation that could create strong psychological incentives for positive identification of alien technology signatures. Multimodal evidence integration requires convergent support from multiple independent observational approaches, including spectroscopic analysis, structural characteristics, electromagnetic signatures, and behavioral patterns that collectively support alien technology conclusions rather than relying on single anomalous measurements that might result from natural variation or observational uncertainty. Peer review intensification establishes expanded review processes that include experts from multiple disciplines including astronomy, engineering, materials science, and statistical analysis, while ensuring that alien technology claims receive comprehensive evaluation from diverse scientific perspectives that can identify analytical limitations or alternative interpretations. International scientific coordination ensures that potential alien technology discoveries receive evaluation through established international scientific institutions that provide appropriate oversight, verification procedures, and public communication management while maintaining scientific credibility and preventing premature or inappropriate alien technology announcements. Documentation standards establish systematic procedures for recording observations, analysis methods, and conclusions that enable independent verification and future reanalysis, while maintaining scientific rigor and appropriate documentation quality for revolutionary discoveries that could transform human understanding of cosmic intelligence. Theoretical consistency requirements ensure that alien technology claims remain consistent with established physical laws and theoretical frameworks, while acknowledging that advanced alien technology might employ physical principles or engineering approaches that exceed current human theoretical understanding without violating fundamental physical constraints. Conservative interpretation policies maintain systematic preference for conventional explanations over exotic technological hypotheses, when observational evidence remains ambiguous or insufficient for definitive technological identification, while preserving appropriate scientific caution about extraordinary claims that require extraordinary evidence. Future verification opportunities through improved observational capabilities, enhanced analytical techniques, or potential sample return missions could provide definitive evidence for technological construction that would satisfy enhanced evidentiary standards, while potentially revolutionizing understanding of galactic intelligence and alien technological capabilities. Responsibility acknowledgement recognizes that alien technology confirmation would represent one of the most significant discoveries in human history, with profound implications for science, philosophy, and society, while requiring appropriate scientific responsibility for maintaining rigorous evidentiary standards that ensure genuine technological discoveries receive proper recognition and false claims don't compromise scientific credibility. Modern scientific standards continue evolving to address extraordinary claim evaluation through improved analytical techniques, enhanced peer review processes, and systematic bias control methods that provide robust frameworks for evaluating potential alien technology while maintaining scientific integrity and appropriate skepticism about revolutionary discoveries. Tonight, every rigorous scientific standard that maintains appropriate skepticism, every systematic evaluation that balances extraordinary possibilities with extraordinary evidence requirements, every careful methodology that preserves scientific credibility while exploring revolutionary discoveries carries forward the profound responsibility of scientific investigation that must distinguish between genuine alien technology and natural phenomena, while remaining intellectually honest about discoveries that could transform human understanding of our place within a potentially vast community of cosmic intelligence. Cosmic neighbors in the vast dark drift through the infinite silence of interstellar space with patient persistence that operates beyond human comprehension of time and distance, where objects like 3i Atlas serve as potential messengers that connect our solar system with the broader galactic community, regardless of whether they represent natural cosmic wanderers or technological artifacts from alien civilizations. These mysterious visitors remind us that Earth exists within a galaxy that may harbor countless forms of intelligence, each following their own evolutionary path through cosmic time, while potentially observing, exploring, or simply existing according to principles that exceed human understanding, yet operate within the same physical laws that govern our own technological development. in the deepest quietude of cosmic contemplation, where even the possibility of alien visitation dissolves into the patient rhythm of galactic rotation. The fundamental questions raised by 3i Atlas persist through scientific methodology that maintains rigorous standards while acknowledging extraordinary possibilities that could revolutionize human cosmic perspective. Whether this interstellar visitor represents sophisticated natural formation or genuine alien technology, its presence demonstrates that our solar system participates in systematic material exchange with distant stellar systems through processes that operate across scales spanning from molecular chemistry to galactic dynamics. The scientific investigation of potential alien artifacts establishes methodological frameworks that transcend individual discoveries while creating systematic approaches for evaluating extraordinary claims through rigorous analysis that balances appropriate skepticism with intellectual honesty about phenomena that challenge conventional understanding. These investigative protocols preserve scientific credibility while maintaining openness to revolutionary discoveries that could transform human understanding of cosmic intelligence and our place within potentially vast communities of technological civilizations. Contemporary analysis techniques developed for 3i Atlas investigation continue advancing human capability for detecting and characterizing unusual astronomical phenomena through sophisticated instruments, advanced mathematical analysis, and systematic observational protocols that provide unprecedented sensitivity to potential technological signatures while maintaining appropriate scientific standards for extraordinary claim evaluation and verification procedures. The psychological challenges of investigating potential alien technology reveal fundamental aspects of human cognition and scientific methodology, where systematic bias control and rigorous analytical procedures protect against false positive identification while preserving appropriate sensitivity to genuine anomalies that might indicate technological construction or alien intelligence operating according to engineering principles that exceed human technological achievement. International cooperation frameworks developed for potential alien contact establish precedents for coordinated human response to extraordinary discoveries while demonstrating humanity's capacity for systematic collaboration in addressing scientific challenges that transcend national boundaries and require global coordination for appropriate investigation and response management. Whether 3i Atlas represents natural cosmic debris or technological artifact from alien civilization, its systematic study advances human understanding of galactic material exchange, interstellar object populations, and comparative planetology that reveals the diversity of formation processes operating throughout the Milky Way galaxy under astrophysical conditions that may differ systematically from solar system formation environments. The technological capabilities required for interstellar travel and exploration create systematic frameworks for evaluating human technological development within galactic context, while providing theoretical constraints on potential alien technological capabilities that could enable systematic galactic exploration through automated probe networks or other exploration strategies that might remain difficult to detect using primitive astronomical survey systems. Educational applications of 3i Atlas research promote scientific literacy and critical thinking, while demonstrating systematic approaches for investigating extraordinary phenomena through rigorous scientific methodology that maintains appropriate skepticism while exploring possibilities that could revolutionize human understanding of cosmic intelligence and technological civilization development throughout galactic space. Future interstellar object discoveries will benefit from analytical frameworks and observational techniques developed through 3i Atlas investigation, while providing larger statistical samples that enable better characterization of interstellar visitor populations and more reliable evaluation of potential technological signatures that might indicate alien artifacts among natural cosmic wanderers. The philosophical implications of potential alien technology extend beyond scientific discovery to encompass fundamental questions about cosmic intelligence, technological development, and humanity's place within galactic civilization, while requiring systematic consideration of cultural, ethical, and practical implications associated with confirmed alien contact or technological interaction. Theoretical understanding of galactic civilization development incorporates insights from interstellar object research into broader frameworks for understanding technological evolution, interstellar communication possibilities, and potential patterns of galactic exploration that might characterize advanced technological civilizations throughout cosmic history. The statistical frameworks developed for evaluating alien visitation probability provide systematic approaches for assessing rare phenomena while maintaining mathematical rigor and appropriate uncertainty. Quantification that enables objective evaluation of extraordinary claims despite limited observational data and theoretical constraints on galactic civilization parameters. Modern astronomical capabilities continue advancing detection and characterization techniques for unusual astronomical phenomena, while providing enhanced sensitivity to potential technological signatures and improved analytical frameworks for distinguishing between natural formation and artificial construction through systematic observational and theoretical investigation. Tonight, in the profound silence where cosmic mystery meets human curiosity, every careful investigation that maintains scientific rigor while exploring extraordinary possibilities, every systematic analysis that balances skepticism with intellectual honesty, every methodological framework that preserves scientific credibility while acknowledging revolutionary potential, carries forward humanity's patient quest to understand cosmic intelligence and our place within the vast galactic community that may surround us through distances and timescales that exceed human comprehension, yet remain accessible through systematic scientific investigation. Rest peacefully in the knowledge that whether 3i Atlas represents natural wanderer or alien artifact, its passage through our solar system demonstrates that Earth participates in cosmic processes that operate across galactic scales, while connecting our planetary home with distant stellar systems through material exchange that spans geological time and interstellar distance, creating opportunities for scientific discovery that advance human understanding, regardless of whether cosmic neighbors exist as natural phenomena or technological intelligence. Sleep well, knowing that systematic scientific investigation provides reliable frameworks for distinguishing between extraordinary evidence and extraordinary claims, while maintaining intellectual honesty about discoveries that could transform human cosmic perspective through patient observation and rigorous analysis that honors both the profound implications of potential alien contact and the essential scientific responsibility to maintain evidentiary standards appropriate for revolutionary discoveries that could reshape human understanding of cosmic intelligence and galactic civilization throughout the infinite darkness, where countless worlds may harbor forms of intelligence following their own paths through cosmic time toward destinations we can only imagine.